Hello students, as we have studied about Huygens wave theory of light, so now we are going to apply that wave theory for explaining the laws of reflection. So our task is to explain the laws of reflection on the basis of Huygens wave theory. For that we have a diagram here. XY is a surface. This XY is a surface which is plane and reflecting, and a wavefront AB is incident on that plane reflecting surface. Now this wavefront is such that the wavefront and the reflecting surface both are perpendicular to the plane of paper. So the points that we have to remember is XY is a plane reflecting surface, AB is the incident wavefront, and these both are perpendicular to plane of paper. This is the situation. Now while doing so, the wavefront that is incident towards XY, that wavefront first touch the reflecting surface at point B. As we can see, this wavefront coming like this, it will touch the reflecting surface XY first at point B, and then after some time at point C, at the successive point towards C. Now in according to the Huygens principle, from each point on BC, right, from each point on BC, secondary wavelets starts growing with the speed that is equal to the speed of light, that is c. So when this wavefront hit the surface, it will hit the surface like this, first at point B and this point at C after some time, and all these points in between A and B will be somewhere between B and C. So these all points act as the origin point of secondary wavelets, and these secondary wavelets will move or spread with a speed equal to the speed of light, that is c. Now during the time the disturbance from A reached to point C, the time taken by the disturbance from this point to reach to point C, the secondary wavelets from B must have spread over a hemisphere of radius which is equal to this value AC. Okay, suppose A to C आने में the time taken by the secondary wavelet to reach point C from A is T and its speed is C. So the distance covered by the wave from A to C is CT. Okay, now the secondary wavelet which is at point B, which is originating from point B, also has the speed C, and in time t it will also cover a distance t. So this distance BD is also CT. So we take an arc which is equal to CT, making an arc CT, and now this hemisphere represent the position of secondary wavelet after time t. The moment at which A will reach to C, the secondary wavelet that is originating from point B will reach to point D already, right? So BD is equal to AC and is equal to CT, where T is the time taken by the disturbance to travel from A to C. Now if we take the tangent plane to this CD, if we take the tangent, right, if we take this tangent CD from the point C over that hemisphere of radius CT, over this hemisphere of radius CT, if we take a tangent plane CD, we will get the new reflected wavefront like this. This will be the new reflected wavefront. So this is the position of the wavefront after time t, or this is the new reflected wavefront. Now we want to prove the laws of reflection using this all information. So if angle of incidence and reflection we have assumed that as I and R, then in triangle ABC and triangle DCB, so in triangle ABC and triangle DCB, we can prove the congruency here. In triangle ABC and triangle DCB, what we have, angle BAC, this angle is equal to angle CDB. Okay, so BAC is equal to angle CDB, and these both are 90 degrees. Angle BAC is equal to angle CDB is equal to 90 degree, because these wavefront and this XY are put in a perpendicular plane to that of paper. Now BC is equal to BC, which is a common side. BC is equal to BC, which is a common side in both the triangles, and AC is also equal to BD, whose value is C into T. So by applying the congruency, we can write that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DCB, and if it is so, then we can write angle ABC is equal to angle DCB, or angle ABC is I and angle DCB is R. So that means I is equal to R. So this is the law of reflection. That means angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection, and this proves the law of reflection. Now also, since the incident ray, this is the incident ray SB, the normal is BN, and the reflected ray is BD at point B. At point B, the incident ray is SB, normal is NB or BN, and reflected ray is BD, and these all are perpendicular to the wavefront AB, reflecting surface XY, and reflected wavefront CD respectively. So what we have incident ray SB, normal BN, and reflected ray BD, right? And these are respectively perpendicular to the incident wavefront AB, reflecting surface XY, and reflected wavefront CD. So these are the condition that SB is perpendicular to AB, because it is a ray and this is a wavefront, and we know that ray is a line normal to the wavefront. BN is perpendicular to XY, this is the normal to the plane XY. BD is perpendicular to CD. So from this we can conclude that these all are lie in the plane of paper, because AB and XY are perpendicular to the plane of paper, and these two are perpendicular to these respectively. That means these all lie in the plane of paper. This shows the first law of reflection, that states the incident ray, the normal, and the reflected ray at the point of incidence on the plane surface or the reflecting surface are in the same plane. So this proves the first law, and this was the second law of reflection. So we have proved here both first and the second law of reflection. Hence we can say that Huygens wave theory can explain reflection effectively. So that's all for the video. For further video, stay tuned and keep studying. Thank you.